Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the Battle for Texas here at Locked On Astros. I'm Htown Wheelhouse, and tonight we're going to talk about the Game 1 starter, Justin Verlander, how the Astros got here, a little bit of regular season versus the Rangers, and what Reggie Jackson said about Jordan Alvarez on this solo edition of Locked On Astros.
Welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Greg Htown Wheelhouse Chancey.
And we are Locked On Houston Astros. We're your daily Astros podcast. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You can find me on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Htown Wheelhouse. You can find me at Stros411 on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Wherever you can find socials, you can find me there. And you can find me at Locked On Astros on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Remember, we're always positive, always Stros flying solo tonight. Eric the Man Huysman's not here, but he will be here tomorrow. We're going to do a full series preview either Friday or Saturday this week. Tonight, I wanted to touch on a few things. I want to thank y'all for stopping by and making us your first listen every single day. This episode is brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper is a great app that you can use to play all kinds of fantasy sports. Sleeper picks, you could win 100 times your money. Download the Sleeper app and use a promo code Locked On, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 30 states. Check out Sleeper today. So let's just get the show on the road. Let's get started. Justin Verlander has been tabbed the starter for Game 1 against the Texas Rangers in the Battle for Texas. Hello, y'all. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? Glad y'all came in. And we got some Rangers fans in here tonight. We do appreciate y'all stopping by and giving us a listen. We are your reliable and only daily Astros podcast, so we invite everybody to come by. But Justin Verlander, let's look at his record versus the Rangers. Justin Verlander only has 3 losses against the Rangers, and he has 3 no decisions against the Rangers. But in his last 10 starts, he has 8 wins and 2 no decisions. And in those 8 wins, and in that time frame, he has struck out 7 batters or more in 8 of those 10 starts. So Justin Verlander has had a fair amount of success against the Texas Rangers. Now, he did face them September 6th. He had 6 strikeouts. He only gave up 1 earned run. He gave up 4 hits, pitched 7 innings, and only 1 walk. And he only has about 6 or 7 walks against them lately. He has only given up 3 home runs in the last, 4 home runs in the last 10 starts for the Houston Astros dating back to 2019. Now, I know 2019, 2018, 2017, those are completely different Rangers teams, but I'm just telling you, he's had success. He's had success in Arlington. His last game he won in Arlington. In April of 2022, he won in Arlington. In July of 2019, he won in Arlington. And April of 2019, he won, and he won twice in Arlington. It looks like he's only taken 1 loss in Arlington. That was in 2017, and that was the old ballpark. And so Justin Verlander does like pitching in this ballpark that they have built. We joke around, call it Tough Shed Stadium. Really, I call it Mimic Made Park. The reason is because the same architecture firm, I believe, that built Minute Maid also built this stadium up there, Globe Life Field, as they call it. Look, I don't know if y'all remember the old Rangers ballpark, like the original Ranger Stadium, and then when they built the ballpark at Arlington, which I always called it that because I was in college when they built it. I love that ballpark. Now, I didn't love going to games in the middle of summer. And if you guys are Rangers fans, you know what I'm talking about. You remember those 100-degree, it felt like 2,000 degrees out there in the outfield on those bleachers. But And I haven't had the opportunity to make it to Globe Life Field. I've heard some good things. I've heard some people say there's a lot of blind spots, but I've heard overall it's a pretty massive stadium. And we know the Dallas area loves their sunken in clubhouse seats in the floor, which I've never understood that concept, but hey, I guess it works for the Dallas people. Todd, I agree with you. I can't wait for this series. This series is phenomenal. I actually just secured my ticket to game one. I got permission from my wife to go to the game. Not gonna be able to make game two because it's a day game, but I'm definitely I want to be at the first ever ALCS game versus the Astros and the Rangers, and I want to be there for Justin Verlander. I'm assuming, and I don't know, I haven't heard anything official, but I'm assuming Eovaldi will be their game one starter. I do have some information on Scherzer here in a second, but I want to talk to y'all right now about how the Astros got here. Okay. The Astros got here with a 90-72 record. They obviously tied the Rangers, and they won the division because we know that they won the Silver Boot Series for the first time. It actually really meant something. But in the first half of the season, the Astros were 50-41, and the second half they were 40-31. They scored 417 runs in the first half, and in the second half, 410 runs. So almost identical. But what's interesting is the 410 runs in that second half, I believe, is one of the top scoring offenses in the second half where a lot of teams cooled off. Extra inning games, they are 1-8. We don't want an extra inning game. 1-run games, they were 20-21. We don't look, we won the 1-run game to clinch the ALDS, but that's not the preferred way out, especially this Rangers offense. They know how to hit. In blowout wins, they're 28-15. Interleague play will only come into play when we talk about the World Series. 28-18. They owned the National League. But the Astros started out in April. They came out of April 15-13. They were just above 500. I think most of the division was around there. They had a really good May, 17-10. They heated up, and then they cooled off. They were a 481 win percentage, 13 wins, 14 losses. But they scored at that point the most runs they had scored in a month, because in April they scored 120. In May they scored 118. In June they grabbed a losing record, but they at that point had 136 runs scored. July they improved their record a bit at 15-10, 131 runs scored, and in August 17-11. With the 170 runs scored, they caught fire. They looked good. And then September hit, and that's where everybody freaked out. We freaked out a little bit. They freaked out a little bit. But here's the deal. September, they were 12-14. And people started wondering what is going on. What is happening to this? Are y'all seeing a black screen? What do you mean? Can y'all see me? Y'all need to let me know because I to know right now. I need someone to confirm that you can see me while this is going on. Because I've only seen one person say they see a black screen. Okay, good deal. You can see me. All right. So I just want to make sure that I'm not sitting here. Okay, good deal. Lots of orange. Excellent. Now I know you have passed the eye test. Good job. But guys, look, the reason why I want to talk about how they got here is because even though September was a 12-14 month, they ended on a hot note. They ended with a 5-6 record. They needed the week of rest. All this talk about a week off and it hurts teams. I'm just not buying that. I think it's an excuse. The Twins coach was talking about, obviously you saw, if you watched the game, you saw the batter's eye view or the umpire's view of what a fastball looked like. I mean, Carlos Correa, he was not hitting the ball in game one. I mean, that ball, I don't see how any of the hitters hit the ball, Astros or Twins. But where the coach came out looking like he made excuses, Alex Bregman was like, there's no excuses. You got to go out. Nobody's going to care. And I heard that from several Astros. Nobody cares if you're losing. Nobody cares if you're playing bad. You got to go out there and fix it. Chas McCormick said that. Chas McCormick said, they boo you. They don't nobody's going to feel sorry for you. And that's what I love about this team. But let me tell you something else that I love and I want to talk to y'all about, because I mentioned it in the opening, is sleeper. The MLB playoffs are here, which means that the clock is ticking for your chance to win 100 times your cash on daily fantasy baseball. And it has never been more exciting than it is now. You can bet on studs like Acuna if he stays in, Bryce Harper, he's in. They're playing right now. Lourdes Gurriel, Yordan Alvarez. I mean, Jose Abreu, Mr. Postseason, pick more or less on stats like stars, like with home runs, hits, strikeouts, and more for up to 100 times payout on sleeper. Get your picks right and you could win big. You could add friends on there. You could talk smack to your friends. I mean, who wouldn't want to win up to 100 times their money? Your entries can be made in under a minute. So use the promo code Locked On right now and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleepers terms for use of detail for more details, and make sure that if you cannot go to the game, you cannot watch the game, but you want to listen to the game, you can check out the Astros play the Rangers in game 1 of the ALCS, 7:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch all the hometown calls on Sirius XM, on the SXM app, search Astros. So we talked about where the Astros were and how they got started and where they are now. And Justin Verlander's a game 1 starter. Justin Verlander is, look, he looks good right now. He looks confident. He was the guy that gave the speech that he wasn't prepared for. If you do follow me on Twitter, I did post the speech. I did put an explicit speech warning. And whoever the guy that was supposed to censor out those words, he missed pretty much every single one of them. And so, oh, look at this. Hello from Atlanta, diehard Astros fan. I love it. I love it. Diehard Astros fan living in Atlanta. Dude, you're in enemy territory right now. That's awesome. So tell me in the comments, anybody in here going to game 1 of the ALCS? Look, I'm going to be there. I'm going to get there early. I'm getting a ticket, but I think I'm going to try to stand around the Conoco home run pump or somewhere in the outfield just because I want to be closer to the action. I want to be there for BP and all that stuff. So if you guys are going to hang out and go to ALCS game 1, let me know. I would love to say hi. I would love to meet you and just say thank you for your support for the show. But I'm excited about that. So Justin Verlander again gets the nod for game 1. The Astros in the regular season this year were 9-4 versus the Rangers. And let me tell you, they absolutely owned the Rangers in the regular season. It was even in that last series of the season where we swept them in a very painful sweep for them, that not only were people in Houston saying this, but people in Arlington were saying this. And even Bryce, our friend over at Locked On Rangers, was like, the season's over. I mean, things were very grim looking. We beat them 13-6, 14-1, 12-3. September 4th through the 6th was an absolute just bludgeoning of the Texas Rangers. Their pitching, Scherzer, that's when Scherzer was in there. Eovaldi got the loss. Scherzer got the loss. But look, Eovaldi is actually, he's looking good. Eovaldi's looking really, really good. And so he is the one guy that the only guy that I'm super, super concerned about pitching wise. Scherzer did throw 60 pitches today in a simulated game. And Bruce Bochy did say that if Max Scherzer starts, if Max Scherzer makes the roster, it will be as a starting pitcher. So he will be a starting pitcher if he ends up going. I absolutely love the fact that we have a potential to see both Scherzer and Verlander in this series. I don't know what kind of Scherzer you're going to get. He's coming off of an injury. He hasn't had any rehab starts. So that typically doesn't go well. We face Eovaldi, and that was his first start back without any rehab starts, and he was not good at all. So, look, I'm hoping he's healthy, but I'm hoping he struggles like Eovaldi did because a Mad Max Scherzer on the mound is not a fun person to face, especially in the playoffs. And we faced him in the playoffs before, and he has been absolutely nails. And so we've got Max Scherzer. We've got Justin Verlander game 1. They have not announced the game 1 starter for the Rangers. And here in a second, I want to tell y'all about our other sponsor today, which is going to be, I think I have the wrong ad pulled up. Excuse me. No, FanDuel. Wow, that's two sports sites in one show. Let me go ahead and tell you about FanDuel, and then we'll end on the positive note of talking about Reggie Jackson and his thoughts on Yordan Alvarez. I think it's an interesting topic. All right, so here we go. October baseball is back, and you can make your postseason debut with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Join FanDuel today, and you'll get started with $200 bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's just, they basically go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to create your own account. Then you get in on the action for the first pitch until the final out. Bet on everything from strikeouts to home runs to who win the game. And if you don't want to wait until the end of the game to get the W, predict what will happen in the next at bat with quick bets. That's right. So head over to FanDuel.com/lockedon right now. Step up to the plate for the postseason with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. And if you can't watch the game, listen to the game. The Astros play the Rangers Sunday, game 1 of the ALCS, 7:15 Central Standard Time. Catch all the hometown play calls on Sirius XM, on the SXM app. Search Astros. So we are heading into this series where Yordan is all the buzz. Yordan is the one that everybody's talking about. He is absolutely killing it. Jose Abreu is someone everybody's talking about. But this is what's interesting. And this actually made Yankees fans mad. This was an article that was put out by NJ.com, which is NewJersey.com. Yankees legend Reggie Jackson, we found the new Mr. October, and Yankees fans won't like it. That's the name of the title. That's the title of the event. Basically, Reggie Jackson has said, I see Yordan Alvarez as my twin. He goes, he's a force, buddy. He's nice to have on your side. He's very comfortable. Very seldom do I say something to him about his swing. I can see when he's comfortable, and when he's comfortable, he's going to make real good passes all the time. Today, in the last few days, I said very little to him. Just keep going. I call him my twin for the 44 number and the way he swings the bat. Alvarez had 2 big hits during last season's World Series run by the Astros, a 3-run walk-off homer to beat the Mariners in game 1. I was there. And then a 3-run blast to put the Astros ahead game 6 of the World Series against the Phillies. I was also at that one with my son. He gets better as it gets tougher, Reggie Jackson said. Good hitters, great hitters. If you have to pitch to them, you're going to get hurt. And he basically goes on to, he basically said, like, I haven't found the quote from him specifically, but somewhere he gave everybody the impression that he's calling Yordan Alvarez the new Mr. October, which I think is pretty phenomenal. Pamela York says, I have tickets to game 6. If there is one. Hey, Brett, how'd you like JV's speech? I loved it. A lot of F words. Felt like I was watching a rerun of Platoon, but JV was caught off guard. He was celebrating, and look, I absolutely love it. Brett, didn't you hear about the word? I don't know what you're talking about, bud. You're going to have to help me out. The Eovaldi we pummeled is not the same one, Jay says. We will see, but he's a pitcher we've seen plenty of times. No, look, Eovaldi is a formidable opponent. He's pitching lights out right now. You absolutely have to execute and be on your A game. Chris is asking, will there be a show tomorrow or Saturday? Eric and I will do a full series preview. It will either be tomorrow or Saturday. I don't know which one. Heck, it may be both. We may do a short, we might do a preview show with the Locked On Rangers host. We won't know tonight. I tried to add some schedule conflicts. And then what we'll talk about, will Major League Baseball make both the Astros and the Rangers open up the roof? I don't know. Look, Stokey Beats is saying Scherzer might be rusty. That's what I'm hoping for. And so I'm hoping for a rusty. I'm hoping that the Rangers cool off. I'm hoping that these days off cool them off because, man, they looked really good against the Orioles. And we know this team knows how to hit. This Rangers team is not the same team. It is the same team, but they're playing unlike the team that we just rocked in early September. And so the thing is, the Astros aren't going into this series blindly thinking that they'll just roll over or walk over the Rangers. This could go 6 or 7 games. I want it to go 4 or 5 in the Astros' favor, but it could go 6 or 7 games. The last time I checked, the Phillies went up on Atlanta 2-1. If the Phillies win, it will be the Phillies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Philadelphia versus Arizona, Texas versus Houston. Major League Baseball is so upset. No New York, no Boston, no LA, no Chicago. What are we going to do? Mid-market teams or whatever. I think we're a big market team, but we're definitely not the big dogs that the Major League Baseball wanted. I guess they're still crying about the week off most of the people got. That's right. One team is hot. The other team is a well-oiled machine that is pretty healthy. I like our chances. Look at Jay. Look at Jay bringing the heat tonight. I love this. That right there is my favorite comment, I think, of the week. One team is hot. The other is a well-oiled machine that is pretty healthy. I like our chances. Look at Jay bringing the wood tonight with the comments. Yeah, look, Todd, I get what you're saying. We're the new Yankees, but I don't want to be the Yankees. I want to be the Astros. I want to be the Astros that ruffle feathers. I want to be the Astros that upset people. It doesn't make any sense to me how incensed people are when you start using the word dynasty. And we haven't really talked about this at length. If the Astros can finish the task this year, there is no doubt that this team is a dynasty. But even now, they have the most American League pennants won in a row, 7. The only team that have more league pennants or make it to league championships in a row are the Braves. They were National League. So we're the team that's done it the most in the American League. Robert McCroy said, a lot of young kids watching the post-game speech, too many F-bombs. Yeah, Robert, the thing is, the cameras are at risk when they go into these clubhouses. Look, they're popping bottles of champagne. They're drinking beer. They're smoking cigars. I don't expect them to use language that's not flowered at times. And the network has a responsibility if they don't want foul language on there. Either A, don't be in the locker room, or B, have your guy on that button, on that hot button, pushing the key. Apparently, someone didn't do their job, or they were completely unprepared for that. The Astros are the team that everybody wants to beat. That is everyone's goal. That's right. I agree with that. We don't buy our championships. I love it. I love it. You guys are bringing it to heat. The Houston Astros are the best team. I love it. Look, you guys, I'm going to have to jump out here because I wanted to do a short show tonight since I was going solo. We will do a full show tomorrow night or Saturday. I don't want to say something and then it not happen. So be looking for us Friday or Saturday. Heck, we may do Friday and Saturday. You know us, we love putting out content. But this has been a great show. You guys and girls have done a great job interacting and hopping in here. And even on a day we don't have a game, we don't have really much to talk about except previews and stuff like that. Y'all showed up. So a quick recap. Reggie Jackson calls Jordan Alvarez the new Mr. October. Justin Verlander starting game 1. The Astros owned the Rangers in the regular season, and the Astros got here. Maybe they struggled a little bit in September, but they ended the season hot, and they're in the playoffs hot. So for myself, Eric the Man Huysman, and everybody here at Locked On Astros, make sure you subscribe to us. Listen to us on Apple, Google, or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are almost at 10,000, less than 500 away. Y'all get us a 10K, all right? Y'all have a good one. And as always, go Stros.